It all started from the Ukrainian diplomatic mission in Spain. A letter addressed to Ambassador Serhiy Pokhoreltsev detonated in the hands of an embassy employee. The man was slightly wounded. A quick and correct reaction to the danger saved him. Several similar bombs were delivered to politicians and businessmen in Spain. An improvised explosive was also sent to the Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez.
These are envelopes of similar characteristics, brown in color, and regarding their origin, I must repeat that we are in the early stages of the investigation.
Then the postal terrorists expanded their geography. The residence of the Ukrainian ambassador to the Holy See, Andriy Yurash, was vandalized. The Ukrainian embassies in Hungary, the Netherlands, Poland, Croatia, Italy, and the consulates general in Naples, Krakow, and Brno found blood-stained packages.
And also diplomatic mission in Italy received some letters with some also very unpleasant stuff inside. I mean, some animal eyes. I don't know exactly, but it looked like eyes from fish or some other animals. But as no doubt that is a systematic trend, systematic attack on Ukrainian missions around Europe.
The latest threat came to the Ukrainian embassy in Greece. The blood-stained package had the same return address as most of the previous ones, a Tesla car dealership in Sindelfingen, Germany. Investigations are already underway by German law enforcement agencies.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was done by poke and prod method. Point the finger and choose a town, some company, and put it down to that, or maybe they had an address that was affiliated with the secret services and decided to choose it for this.
The Ukrainian Foreign Ministry also reported one attempted terrorist attack and 2 bomb threats. Attacks on diplomatic institutions, which are protected by international law, is a serious crime, the Ukrainian ministry stated.
We are carefully following it. I have ordered all foreign diplomatic establishments of Ukraine to immediately increase security measures. We will defend each Ukrainian not only in Ukraine but also abroad with all available means.
The case of the Spanish company Instalatsa indicates that it may be the Kremlin that stands behind these attacks. The company produces weapons, including anti-tank grenade launchers for Ukraine. And on November 30th, a package with explosives was brought to Instalatsa. The Postal terror campaign has no precedent in European diplomacy, but experts see the pattern of the Russian Federal Security Service and the Russian State Intelligence Service in the rudeness and primitiveness of the terrorist actions. The only Russian diplomat who resigned because of the war unleashed by the Kremlin against Ukraine, Boris Bondarev, says that Russian diplomacy has long been returned into a branch of the Kremlin.
Many of the diplomats told me that they would willingly agree with the Kremlin's lies. For some, it was a way to avoid responsibility for Russia's actions. They could explain to themselves and others that they were simply following orders. Several times when I warned my colleagues that their actions were insulting and that it would not help Russia, they reminded me that we had nuclear weapons. We are a great power, one of them told me. Other countries have to do what we say. Boris Bondarev, counselor at the Russian mission to the United Nations office in Geneva from 2019 to 2022 from an article of Foreign Affairs.
The organizers of the postal terror may have several goals, experts say, and not all of them can be rationally analyzed.
This is an attempt to link Ukrainians to terms of terrorism or terms of a not very positive nature related to actions around embassies. They must have tried to influence our diplomats here, but the diplomats in this case don't respond to this kind of pressure. According to some information that comes from Russia itself, they are so deep into some informal practices, such as shamanism, occultism. I would not be surprised if, among other things, this action has some kind of occult orientation.
The demands of the senders of the packages are unknown, but even if the main purpose was intimidation in order to stop supplies of military assistance to Ukraine, however, such methods will have the opposite effect, political analysts assure. For example, Madrid and Kiev have been negotiating for a long time about deliveries of 155 caliber weapons to Ukraine, but brutal threats by terrorists would tilt the negotiations in favor of Kiev. Reported by Roman Smoler, Yulia Bezborodko, UATV News.